to the 2020 CrossFit Games.
When I first woke up this morning, I was like miserably nervous.
It hasn't really sunk in yet. I'm like trying to convince myself that it's happening, but it's hard when you're in your home gym.
Welcome everybody. We are so excited to kick off the 2020 Reebok CrossFit Games. 2020 has been a bit of a wacky year so far.
It's been a tough year for everybody.
I mean, when Ohio shut down in March, you're just like, what are we training for?
The dates kept changing. We didn't know if it was going to be an in-person competition, and everything was just so up in the air. When it got pushed from Madison to Aromas, we were just kind of like, okay.
So it's like, how bad do you want this? Because you have no clue if it's even going to be there, but you're still willing to sacrifice almost everything for it.
Once COVID hit in March, I already knew that I was just dealing with injuries in itself, so I was more concerned about that, and I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to compete this year. We had a plan for this season, and then we found out I had a torn labrum. As the months kept on going on and it wasn't getting better, I was just like, come on, why can't I just have a healthy year? No one could go compete, so I didn't feel like I missed out on a lot while I was trying to recover.
Normally, the CrossFit Games happens in person with all of the athletes on one field. So this year there's 7 events, and they are broken down into 3-hour windows, and people across the world are actually doing those events at different times. So points and standings aren't released until everybody has gotten a chance to do the workout.
It's definitely you miss being under the lights.
It's a completely different feeling when you're in an arena with the fittest people in the world.
There's no substitute for something like the Coliseum, but by tweaking a couple small things here and there, by getting the crowd to show up today, it's not the same, but I think for her specifically, super grateful.
Right when COVID started is when I was in a boot. At the beginning of the year, I fractured my heel, and then I had Achilles issues, and then I had knee issues and lower back issues.
So she's dealt with this ankle injury and been in a boot, and so that's kind of limited the amount of volume she could do and the movements she could do. So she worked around it, and she did the best she could with what she had, and here she is, games year number 4.
I haven't done 85-pound thrusters in probably 9 months, so.
We're gonna do our best.
We're looking forward to sending it and giving it our all on this weekend, and then after that we'll look at where we are, and maybe she's top 5, maybe she's not, but we'll probably readjust and come back swinging next year.
All right, going in. My rookie year was intense because it was the first time that they had introduced the cuts. So I don't even feel like I've had a true game season yet.
What's important to me to prove to everybody was that last year's top 10 performance was not a case of the programming. Every documentary, every person on Instagram and Reddit and everything, it's like, yeah, she was top 10, but it was because it cut to 10, and that was the worst you could do once you made the cut. And this year, I was really looking to prove she is a perennial top 10 athlete.
I'm not healthy every year, but somehow still climb on the leaderboards. 2017, 22nd, 2018, 16th, 2019, 8th, and so I definitely was putting pressure on myself.
In her head, everybody else's expectation is she was 8th last year, so everybody would expect her to do even better this year, and that kind of weighs on her.
It's okay, I have all this potential, so that's exciting in that sense, but then also frustrating always coming into a competition, the biggest competition of the year, and just feeling injured.
This is my first time by her side for a competition. I think the events actually could have been worse for her, so I don't know. I think if her body holds up, she could do pretty well, but your guess is as good as mine. I hear 'em chat to the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear 'em chat with the boys, man so tough, but man's keep walking.
days, never let out the. I am checked to the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I am checked with the boys, not so tough, but minds keep walking, yeah. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls, let her tell me.
When I was in the middle of that workout, I was actually like, this is bad. This is gonna be a bad weekend for me. Like everything was like locking up and everything just felt really horrible. Luckily my back at that point was not hurting at all, so I was like happy about that. It ended up being a decent workout for me.
You know, a lot of the lighter athletes are really efficient, and so when they grip up to the bar, they don't really readjust their grip. So for me, doing things like chest to bar, I use a lot of my hip drive and my legs to be able to do the movement. And because I do that, I have to like re-grip the bar. So the amount of times I have to re-grip the bar just, you know, like takes the skin, takes the callus, and there's only so many times you do that before your hands are like, yo.
Stop that.
The plan was, at some point in this weekend, we have to take a chance. And that was a workout that we were like, this is a conservative pace, but a chance of potentially maybe running too close to the sun. And she was holding her pace amazing until the last set of pull-ups.
Twos and threes are good. 5. We'll just keep on moving. Small sets. Small sets, and we move now. We're gonna get there. Let's go.
And that was where we pushed just a little too much and ended up paying the price for it. She was on pace to be done at like a 4:20, and ended up adding a minute just because of that.
Amanda Barnhart.
Okay.
She has notoriously struggled a bit with upper body pulling. Yes, she's got good leg strength, but I think a lot of it is going to come down to some of that upper body pulling.
I think when it comes to being a coach, all of the success is on the athlete and all of the failure is on the coach. You know, I really take the blame on it. I thought the best scores were going to be all around Tia. I thought there were going to be more people in that like 3:30, 3:40 time. And I thought a middle of the pack score was going to be around 4:30. So we paced off of 4:20, and that was a top 2 score. And we were on that pace with 20 seconds left to go in the workout, and it was there, and we pushed her just too far. That's my fault.
First event was rough. I died pretty bad, but I'm proud of my effort because I didn't normally I'm one to hold back a little bit and go out too slow. So picking up that last thruster, I literally told myself you have a choice right now to go for it or not. And I went for it. And when I got to the pull-up bar, I felt like I couldn't even see straight. So sometimes that happens. That's CrossFit. So you get better from it. You learn.
Not like the other one. I haven't front squatted in 9 months. We're gonna see how this goes.
I think your PR is 275. So I mean, the goal is gonna be to beat that.
If your butt gets out on you, you'll lose it forward. You can just try to keep that butt underneath you and you'll be good. That was fine. You were tight, you were up tall. So that's where it's gonna feel like you're crashing if the butt sneaks out.
291!
Way better than what I thought was going to happen, so I'm really happy. I'm really going to be happy with a 270, so this is great. This is really great. Yeah, so we're happy. We're really happy. 3, 2, 1, go! I love handstand push-ups and deadlifts, especially strict handstand push-ups. I'm better at them than hipping.
Diane's one of my favorite workouts, so I really like this one. It's gonna be fun.
We were so excited about her Diane. I don't think we would have changed a single thing. She executed, pushed the pace. We took a chance again, just like we talked about on Friendly Fran. And but she didn't blow up this time, and really wouldn't have changed a single thing on it.
Good job, Drew. Hold on.
All right, now we push, Let's go.
Come on, Drew, this is it.
There it is. Hold on. Nice.
Oh, so close.
The game plan is I'm gonna do every workout, and we're gonna tinker with them a bit so that the way I feel is as close to how she's gonna feel during that workout.
Drew Wayman is a good friend. He trained with me a lot last year. He's an incredible athlete. We're very similar at our strengths and weaknesses in CrossFit, so we asked him to come for the weekend. It says a lot about strategy and stuff when you get to see someone do it before you.
In a 250, if you drop from a 140 to a 130 with 250 left, what are we really talking in time at the end of that?
2 seconds.
2 seconds?
Maybe.
So, whereas if we could hold a little bit faster pace and then drop 5, that's where you see that drop of 2 to 3 seconds at 500. So.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
I didn't really know what to expect, but definitely faster than I thought I was gonna be.
She delivered and over-delivered off of what we had paced and what we were planning. So she kind of went out and beat what we were planning for by 3 seconds.
Here's where we stand now after 4 events. Tia Toomey, 380 points. She wins the first 3 events. She's the first person to ever do that at the CrossFit Games. Brooke Wells is still in the top 5. Amanda Barnhart works her way into the top 5. And Danny Spiegel moves up as well. She is now inside the top 5. Christine Best was there.
Good girl.
I'm done with day one. I'm still kind of like, it doesn't feel any different from a Friday of training. Right. Except for out there in the world, there's some kind of leaderboard with my scores and everything.
Danny Spiegel was really nowhere to be found after the first event, but all of a sudden, she's in the top 5. She is making a charge.
She did struggle with both of the running events last year at the games, but I know that 125-pound overhead squat isn't going to give her any issues. So she's looking like she's put herself in a real good position.
Yeah. CrossFit's weird. You know, the point scale is, you know, things can happen. Like, so many people can have a bad workout, and the way the point system works, like, it's never over until it's over.
The scores were great. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how much it actually moved her up, which makes me even more excited about today.
I woke up this morning and honestly, I couldn't even pick up a water bottle off the ground. I was like, my back hurts. I even came downstairs and told Cooper, I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to compete.
being a competitor, being top 10 at the games last year, you know, obviously she wants to be up fighting for one of those top spots, but realistically, it's just not exactly in the cards physically this year. But doesn't mean she's not going to give it hell and try to, you know, climb the leaderboard in day 2.
We're feeling good. Currently sitting in 5th. She doesn't know where she's at, and I think she thinks she's out. I don't think she knows how well she is standing right now. And even with the 5th place standing, she's, I believe, 30 points ahead of the next person. Danny hurt her ankle about 2 months ago. This will be the first time she's ran since the ankle injury.
So this workout was called Nasty Nancy. I think just having like a longer workout always just brings back the fact that I belong here.
I'd say on Nancy, she's looking to, you know, not sputter out. She wants to, you know, keep this as consistent as possible and push hard at the end. We're just out here trying to have fun, try to kick some ass.
How do you feel about your run pace?
I felt like I was going slow, but I could not have gone faster.
Yeah.
Maybe if I came out on that first one a little slower,
yeah,
I think my heart rate wouldn't have come up
yeah.
as soon.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause by round 2, I was all right. Like, I pretty much stayed steady.
Yeah.
Roll out the black carpet.
I don't know if you guys can see, but we're running in someone's cul-de-sac today. You know, just adds one more element to the COVID CrossFit Games.
Put like a cone right here and then just go run to the side. Because it's, do you see where the speed bump's at up there?
Yeah.
It's just past that is the distance from here. So it's roughly right in here somewhere. Is that an issue to run over like that?
No.
Cool. So, and then we can just put the clips right here. So then you don't even have to step there. You just grab them and then you go back, right?
Yep.
You guys feel comfortable with all that?
I'm good. Obviously, would have preferred to go and like run on a track, but all the nice tracks over here obviously connected to schools, and schools are all shut down because of COVID, so it's fine. We're just gonna run on the street. It's not a big deal.
Here's your trainer, man. Go.
I mean, for me, honestly, it was just about like keeping a consistent pace. I'm a decent runner, so I knew like that's where I was gonna get my recovery in.
Hey, B, let's send a message right now. You are on fire.
She's put in so much time on the running, on the burpees, that when work like this comes up, it's a quiet conversation of, yes, I get to test myself.
Sprint, 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 sprint. Yes!
The ankle is still giving her issues.
Hopefully, the overhead squats will be that damage control that we needed.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Just managing leg fatigue going into the cleans, and then legs hurt a little bit on the jumping, but it's not too bad. She should do super well on it.
This is a workout that we do all the time. A lot of JHDs, heavy power cleans, and double unders. So we're excited about it. We'll just see how the ankle holds up.
We're not one on 185.
So, you know, but at 3 you should.
Yeah.
I really don't think so.
Yeah, so
Like if it was 155, I would agree. 185 is too heavy to carry it down.
we are gonna have to take a chance on that. I mean, we
I don't think so.
If we can.
I think
If
you're wrong.
it's there. If it's, I'm just saying if it's there.
I knew it was just gonna be a terrible workout for me. And I even asked the judge, I was like, so is there like a time cap for this workout? Because it's just not gonna be a good one for me. And he's like, nope. And I was like, shit, okay. Well, I'm just gonna take my time and just embrace the last workout of the weekend.
You know, it takes a lot to dig deep, like by yourself and like, you know, in your head, try to like think like, you know, pick up the barbell now because definitely someone else is doing it. Someone right now is picking up this barbell before you, so you better just go.
I just tried to stay like just above uncomfortable, like not to the point where I felt like I needed to rest. So just always moving, staying steady. If I felt like I could pick up the pace a little bit, do it, but really just focus on breathing on every single rep and always moving.
That workout went excellent. Really everything exactly as we planned and thought it would end up being. I'm very optimistic that that's going to be a great score. We got an hour to wait for the first 2 workouts from this morning. 4 hours from now, we'll find out this workout.
Okay, let's get kicked off with the women's overall standings. We now have that through event 6. A lot has changed over the past day. Tia Toomey, nothing has changed. She's still dominating. Right. Kristen Holter right now, where's the big target? She is in 5th by just 7 points over Amanda Barnhart. Now,
I'm just like, of course, I'm in 6th place by 3 points or something. You know, adding more stress to the situation.
I know it's going to be tight. I know it's going to be close, but I think we can get in.
So here's where we are, 11 through 19, and some names that we expected to see inside that top 5.
I'm obviously like a little disappointed in how I did and performed, but at the same time, I can't be because of just the year that I've had. So it feels nice to be finished just because, like, honestly, I was just in pain the entire time. My back was hurting so bad.
Like you saw today with the cleans, like if she can improve on that and overall strength, I think that's gonna like take her up a level. So finding somebody that can like coach her in that way and consistently do it and be attentive, I think is gonna be huge.
This next year, if I get a coach and I just have a little bit more structure, well, I'm hoping that then I can, you know, be successful next year at the games.
Going through all of that waiting time was really, really hard. You just felt so helpless.
It was hard. I mean, kind of, I think, just keeping out of my mind was what was about to happen or potentially happen. It was very emotional.
It sounds like there's a lot of girls that are going to push her down a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Yeah. You ever get that good feel, just a good feeling?
You have that feeling?
Yes, yes.
I don't.
I'm done. The CrossFit Games is over for me. I don't know where I placed. I was really adamant on not looking at the leaderboard all weekend. I personally know it's not going to be like my best performance or what my best performance could have been, just given the circumstances of everything. Yeah, I guess in a couple hours' time we'll know what happened. So we'll see then.
We're awaiting a 6 p.m. announcement, I think. So a lot of good tension, a lot of nervousness, a lot of anticipation, a lot of anxiousness.
It's out of our hands. The times are going to come in. Amanda had a really good time on her last event. She's trained really, really hard. Obviously, we're really proud of her, no matter where she finishes.
I did everything I could have, so it's just like, you just wait, and I'm happy with how I did. So obviously you're gonna be disappointed if I'm outside the top 5, but I'm not disappointed with my effort and with how everything went.
Channel for you to watch. We want to bring you the event results for event 7. This is the event results now for event number 7. So let's take a look at how this thing played out as far as the final times are. And Cara Saunders went out and did exactly what she needed to do. Barnhart took 10th. The name you don't see there.
I don't see Holta. You might be in there. Carrie was like 30 back.
She was
3 back.
Or Barnhart. These are now the final standing through 7 events. Toomey, Brooke Wells, Haley Adams, Catherine Davis-Daughter, and Carrie Pierce by 2 points over Kristen Holta. And look how close Cara Saunders got with that final performance. I mean, just did exactly what she had to do.
Disappointed, sad. Wanted to be in the top 5, so I feel like I'm getting mentally stronger every year, getting to know myself better every year. Obviously getting fitter and getting better at weaknesses, but yeah, still really disappointed.
It obviously was not where I wanted it to be, but as a whole, major whole, a huge success. Based on not necessarily how she did, but what was the strategy, what was the effort, and looking at those two things.
CrossFit doesn't change. If you're in last place or in first place, like the whole point of this is to do your best. That's the sport, and that's what makes us better. Like if we're not trying to change something, then what are we trying to achieve to get better? So we look at the workout and say, what can I do in this workout to get my absolute best score, regardless of whether I'm in first or last place.
There's always going to be successes and there's always going to be failures. And I feel like the only way to be successful is to have failures. Like you're never just going to have this graph that just is a gradual incline. It's going to look like this, just like everybody says. So that's just a part of life.
And I just want to put it out there, like anyone who even made it to the CrossFit Games, you have to be so incredibly good to suck at the CrossFit Games. Like you're top 30 in the world. You're the top of your sport.
I told Randy, I was like, you know what? At least I don't have that pressure anymore. I mean, I definitely still want to keep doing better, but taking that pressure off a little bit always helps a lot. So I'm hoping next year will be a little bit better for me.
Next year, I think you're gonna see an Amanda Barnhart with a chip on her shoulder. Somebody with confidence and with something to prove.
I mean, it didn't go how I wanted it to, so I mean, that's gonna fuel me every single day to come back even harder and to fight for that top 5 and to be on that podium next year.
I just know that there's a lot of untapped potential that I'm ready to show people.
Last year at the Games, like I just left really sad. This year I'm leaving mad. People better watch out for a healthy Danny.
I want to continue to get better and I'm not done with this sport yet.
Just be on the lookout for me, I'm coming.